Have I ever told you guys that I am in love with Gumball? I have? Oh. Ah well. No harm in reiterating. I love Gumball. Simple as that. It's tied with Steven Universe as my favorite new Gen CN show. And I'll go out on a limb and say that Gumball is beating Steven on my list. Yeah, come at me, Steven Universe fanbase. Hit me with your best shot, you social justice cocksuckers. All that jokey nonsense aside, let's talk turkey. Gumball, a string of 5 new episodes that aired on the weekdays from August 15th to 19th. Ben Bukale must be taking notes from Rebecca Sugar. Or is this how the schedules for CN shows are going to be from now on? Who knows? It would be nice, but that would cause problems for the network and the production crews involved. We'll see. Of course, being such a huge sucker for Gumball, I absolutely must talk about these episodes. So let's not waste any more time and dig right in. Our first episode of the week is The Roots. During a visit at the local pet store, the Wattersons notice Darwin staring pensively at the fish tank. Assuming that he feels like the odd one out, which he is, they attempt to cheer him up in their own special little way. Oh yes, that's sure to make him feel better. This is a strange episode to me. Not once in the series do I recall Darwin ever feeling left out in his family. He always seemed so content with his lot in life, aside from a few small instances. I think this episode would feel more at home in a prior season, back when we still didn't know a lot about the Wattersons, or the rest of Elmore for that matter, but that's just me. I'm not saying this is a bad episode, it's actually okay. The funny moments here hit the mark, like this one.
Mom?
I know, sweetie. Don't think about it too much.
I feel your pain, Gumball. Granted, I'm not a cat, but I feel you, bro. Or this one.
Let me know if he's coming. Okay, how to grow a butt. What age will I start laying fish eggs? Here, better fish environment. I knew it!
What are you looking at?
Darwin's browser history. What?
What the hell were you guys looking up? Oh shit. Don't tell me you caught on with all the Rule 34 people keep making of you. The episode also retains that exploration of the Watterson family dynamic that I love so much. Once again, the writing crew shows us what a close-knit unit they are. Goofiness of the antics aside, the efforts of the Wattersons are heartwarming. It takes a real family to defy the laws of gravity and move around like they were a school of fish. Seriously, how do you guys do any of this? Elmore has to be the nicest place to live in. I wouldn't mind moving there if it existed. And those puns. For the love of God, those ocean-related puns.
Hey there, buddy. What's going prawn?
What? Minnow, you've been giving us a lot of carp about this whole fish thing, and I eel you, no trout. I'm your soul brother after all, know what I bream?
We don't want you to feel orca-word. We're just trying to help you.
I have literally no idea what any of you are talking about.
We just hate to see you like this, know what I'm salmon?
We could do better if you let us try. Here's some whale song to make you reel at home.
What was that? 13 puns in 20 seconds? Damn! Sans would have a field day with you people. So would Luann Loud. The episode is fine for the most part, but wow, do they really milk the sentimental element for all it's worth. Yeah, the Wattersons crying in the third act is highly exaggerated, since we know that Darwin doesn't really want to go to an aquatic natural habitat. It's just a gateway to some amusing misfortunes that Darwin suffers. But the writers sure are beating the feels into our heads, aren't they? Speaking of which, predictable! A predictable plot twist. If you can even call it that. Come on, don't act like you didn't see it coming.
Okay, well, if I work even more night shifts and stop eating dinner, then maybe I could save us enough money.
I suppose that's fair. Of course, I never knew my real parents, or what my life would have been like in the ocean.
That's true. We cruelly took you in, clothed you, fed you, looked after you. I suppose we still owe you so much.
You're too good.
No one can guilt trip like a mother.
You got that right, Nicole. My final verdict for The Roots. The jokes work, at least. The best ones are a downright riot. And it's great to have the whole family as the focus again. But this would have been better off in an earlier season, back when we were still getting to know the characters and getting a feel for the show. If they had dropped the sentimental nonsense a little earlier instead of seeing it through to the end, it also would have worked better. I'll give it a 3 out of 5. The whole thing screams predictable, but it's still fine by Gumball standards. which have been raised so high following the massive improvement the show has seen since 2011. It could be that we're really just spoiled, but after the masterpieces we were treated to, like The Job, The Origins, and The Shell, it should come as no surprise that the bar has now been set very high. Episode number 2 in Gumball is The Blame. Gumball and Darwin introduce Billy Parham to the world of video games, which causes him to contract a stroke. No, it's not actually a stroke, but he does indeed pass out. His mother Felicity doesn't take too kindly to this, and as the president of the Parent-Teacher Association, declares that all video games be outlawed in Elmore, but not without Gumball challenging her to see the benefits of the medium. If Sans and Luann Loud are going to have a field day with the Wattersons for that cavalcade of puns, I'm going to have a field day with this. Out of all the episodes in Gumball, this one had me laughing the loudest and the longest. I could have sworn I was going to pass out in the 2 times I was watching this. It's joke after spot-on joke. Jokes that are taken from the video game and literature industries. Several common complaints that I see about pop culture references in any kind of fiction are that they're usually out of place in the areas they're put in, that people have seen them all before, or, in the worst case scenario, make someone come off as out of touch with current ongoing trends. You can't really argue against these points that well since they are correct. Pop culture references are as much a necessary evil in storytelling as similarly frequent conventions like the 3-act structure, the loser protagonist, the bully, the face-heel turn and heel-face turn, stock phrases, and so on. However, as I said in my rant on that piece of shit Powerpuff Girls reboot, my take on pop culture references is that if there's a point behind them, then I don't mind. They can work if they enhance the storytelling, or if they fit in the context of what's going on. In these instances, they add a seasoning, let's say, that can be appreciated by anyone, not just those who are aware of what the references mean. Gumball's comedy has so much going for it that it doesn't have to be overly reliant on pop culture references. As far as The Blame goes, the references that are used here work. They add a nuance that bolsters the humor and helps project the message that the writers are trying to push. Thus we get gut-bustingly hilarious scenes like these.
She's right! Look at what happened to Ocho since he started gaming!
He doesn't look so bad.
But here's what he used to look like! Gaming's given my—
Whoa. Is that Jacob Hopkins? Gumball's voice actor? Okay, this one had me cracking up for hours on end. So, if Ocho used to be Jacob Hopkins, does this mean that Jacob might provide Ocho's voice in the future? Hey, don't look at me. The writers came up with it.
Sorry, no hand at the end of the wrist.
Come on, Anise! We can't lose to these slugs!
This one doesn't look very healthy at all.
Hey, this is the body of a world-class gamer. You're lucky we're not online right now, or I'd be saying things I'd never say to your face.
Anise, take the shot! Come on!
Nicole, what are you doing? That's your daughter!
A lot of people think that all gamers are unattractive male losers. But look at this majestic female specimen.
You must be joking. Look at her face. The lack of natural sunlight has given her skin like a parrot's tongue. And the breath is like a subway in Paris. And the teeth, they're so yellow I thought they were made out of gold.
Felicity, shut your mouth. If you don't want your head to be bitten off, you are going to shut your mouth right now. As you'd expect, the big highlight to cap everything off is the musical number at the climax.
Everybody read a book, wreak havoc across the nation. Come on, just have a look. There's such violent inspiration.
Lord of the Flies is a book each parent cherishes. The feral kids survive, but the one with glasses perishes.
Red Riding Hood is pretty bizarre, where a wolf dresses up as a girl's grandma.
If you read Dickens' Oliver Twist, you'd shut the library door and lock it. It's all about these homeless kids who learn how to pickpocket.
Wow. Books are dangerous. Who knew?
Mother, allow me to elucidate. We've raised myriad issues here today. Censorship, parenting, making gross noises with one's armpit. But the nub of the argument is thus.
Video games are shouldering the burden of a deeper problem.
It is not the material that's to blame, but how parents teach their children to respond to it.
Hallelujah! Thank you, Billy! Thank you for being the voice of reason. Thank you for saying what all of us gamers have been wanting to say.
My gosh, Billy, you're right. Books can be as dangerous as video games. There's only one reasonable thing to do.
Become better parents and look after our children in a sensible way.
And thank you, Richard? Huh. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. Good on you, sir. Thank you for being the other voice of reason. The PTA sure can learn a lot from this. I'm confident that by the end of the day, they'll finally realize that video games and the media in general shouldn't be the scapegoat for a greater underlying problem. I have all the faith in the world that this will motivate them to provide their kids with the proper guidance they deserve. That they will educate their kids on the importance of regulating their personal pleasures by regulating their own personal pleasure, or they'll just burn every book inside a la Nazi Germany. Keenan, if you please. Why? Now this is what I'm talking about. This is Gumball at its finest. It is so in tune with the ongoing trends in today's world. The abundance of video game and book references fit the context to a T. They make an already funny premise all the funnier, and they don't hurt the commentary that the episode is pushing. If I have to complain about one thing, it has to be the fact that Felicity was reduced to a straw man. It doesn't hurt the commentary that badly, but it would have been preferable if she reinforced her claim about the benefits of literature. But she didn't do that. Gumball, despite the fact that his attempts were miserable failures, was actually trying to prove his point. The writers could have made her claim that she read these works during her childhood. Lord of the Flies, Hansel and Gretel, Cinderella, Little Red Riding Hood, etc. And as gritty as the classics got, they didn't have the same damaging effect on her that video games allegedly have on children of the new generation. That would have made the commentary more powerful, but we didn't get that unfortunately. As it stands, I'm going to give the blame a 4.5 out of 5. Now I'm tempted to redo my top 10 list. Should I or should I not?